Hello, my name is Father Joseph Hirsch from the Office of Vocations. Today I'd like to especially address myself to families. Whenever we have an ordination of a seminarian to the priesthood, I always like to go to the family and say, your son is going to have eternal impact on your family's spiritual lives. What do I mean by this? Just looking back into my own life and into the lives of so many other priests. When we are ordained, we can even speak before ordination. When we're going through seminary, the formation that we receive, we start to share that with the family. It creates a whole conversation in the family that many families never have otherwise. When you become a priest, and I remember giving the first blessings to various people of my relatives, many of them not even churchgoers, but there was a connection made. So I would celebrate masses with the family. It brings the mass alive. And the little nieces and nephews and all these kids in the family. You see that your fatherhood is affecting their spiritual lives. Having baptisms for your nieces and nephews. Just recently I had the marriage of one of the nieces that I baptized. 24 years ago, I married her parents. All of that is part of a dialogue of faith that impacts the family in powerful, powerful ways. But there's also a way that in the most serious times of life, your fatherhood is called upon. I'll give a couple examples. My father's gone through a number of surgeries in the past 6 or 7 years for heart and various things. It's very serious. A couple of times we thought we were going to lose him. Do you know what it's like to anoint your father as he prepares for possibly death? To be able to be with him and pray with him. Say, Dad, you are now in God's hands. It's a powerful moment. Last year, my baby brother had an accident, very serious, and it looked like he was very probably going to not make it. I rushed to the hospital, hoping that I would get there in time, and I did. And as soon as I got there, I anointed my brother. They carried him off to surgery. And as they carried him off, he grabbed from my hand and he said, Father Joel, you'll never know what this anointing means to me. It was the most intimate moment I've ever had with my brother. And it was through the gift of the priesthood. I don't know how to communicate that to families, but it is such an important message. Because I hear many people say, oh, I don't want my son to be a priest because that would take him away from the family. Or I don't want him to be a priest because that would take away from having grandchildren. I don't know how to communicate the enrichment that priesthood brings to family. And I'm not even addressing myself to the larger family of the parish or the diocese. I'm just focusing on the impact that a priest's life has on his own family. And so, every time that I have a seminarian become ordained, I appreciate being able to go to the family and say, your son, his priesthood, his fatherhood in the priesthood will have an eternal impact on the salvation of your family. Thanks for listening.